It's a Guy Jeans podcast.
If you live in the Ventura 805 area, you know this legendary band. They've been playing and writing music for well over 40 years. Many friendships, relationships, marriages, kids, and grandkids have come to fruition because of this iconic and legendary Ventura band. Their music is an original Ventura sound, combining rock and blues with a tinge of country and beachy vibes. Their chemistry and vibe on stage is what everyone comes to see and feel. How did they get started? How does a band stay together for so long? What is it about this band that makes it work so well? Well, you're about to find out. It was such a pleasure and an honor to sit down with these dudes and talk about Ventura, their music, the surf rodeo, and life. I hope you enjoy this one, you guys. All right, you guys, welcome to the show. I'm sitting here in Surf Rodeo headquarters with some local legends here from Ventura. I've got the boys from Raging Arb and the Redheads. And who am I sitting here with?
My name's Ross Emery. I'm the original drummer, and I grew up with JD and Arb, and I'm still alive.
Perfect.
I'm JD Drury and singer, I guess you can call that, singing.
Sanger.
And you, Raging Arb.
And I'm John House, Raging Arb.
Right on.
I play bass.
So how long have you guys been together?
I would say, 40 years?
It's got to be at least, right?
Yeah.
We started in the 80s.
I'm bad with dates and stuff, but
I want to say at least
4 years.
With a zero.
At least 39 or 40. It's been a long time.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was, how did it start? Like, did JD come over and say, "Hey, let's get a band together"? Or did you do that, Ross? Or how did this whole band start, man? You guys, how did that go down?
Well, truly, this is how we're a boy band. We're like Menudo or NSYNC or whatever, because we were assembled. Chris Bird, we were all on the beach, Pierpont, and just surfing and skating and doing whatever. We wanted to start a band, and Chris Bird was the go-to guy because he could sing and play guitar and all that. So he said, "Get me a 6-pack of beer and a half pint of tequila, and I'll teach you guys how to play."
In Arb's garage.
Yeah. So we went in the garage, and he literally said, "Well, Ross, you have a half drum kit. Or you don't have a bass yet, or you have a guitar, so we'll get you a bass later." Yeah. And then same thing with Toby, because he had a guitar, and he was, "JD, you're a ham, so you'll be singing." So we were all like appointed.
Is that really how? Really, you guys were appointed like that? Is this how it's going to go?
And not one of us knew how to play. So we just learned from the ground up right there.
So was this his idea? Like his kind of thing, or you guys wanted to do it?
I think we wanted to do it, and we kind of hit him.
Well, I would say JD was a pioneer, but we grew up with Bird in these bands, watching them getting hot chicks, drinking, and having fun on the beach.
Yeah.
We were out of high school going, this would work. And my brain...
Memory. It's called memory.
There it is. JD came back from Australia or Bali with this redhead thing and said, "Let's start a band, I think." And then Bird and all that. Or something.
Well, yeah, no. During the punk rock, some of the punk rock bands out of Oxnard and Ventura, we jokingly came up with a drunken name, Raging Arb and the Redheads, and we were hanging with all the punk bands, and they would let us play. We had just jokingly would get up on the mic and bass and drums and all that and play with them, and so that was, yeah, you're right. There was that. And then I guess we got serious, man. And then we went to Chris Bird, said, "We really want to learn this stuff."
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too is, like JD said, the Nardcore thing was going on, Aggression and all those bands.
I remember.
And I don't know at what point. We didn't go punk. Some of our stuff was influenced, but we were more southern rocky, rockabilly-ish, and JD was Frank Sinatra. Arb was, and we put it all together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is that how you remembered Arb?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Pretty much it, yeah.
So what was your guys' first gig? Can you remember?
I say Colony Kitchen.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Colony Kitchen. We played Ramones. It was called
Ramones.
Colony Kitchen, which is.
And we were all under 18. You had to be
Where was
21
it? Where's the Colony Kitchen? I don't remember
It's
that.
where the Big Bear Diner is now.
Old Carro's.
That was
Old
your first
Carro's.
gig right there, inside there?
And we were from Pierpont. We just walked there.
There was like a little bar in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played. They booked us 2 nights in a row, Friday, Saturday, and the cops came and ambulance came both nights.
Was it packed too? Isn't that awesome?
They had 69-cent cocktails, and people would just get blasted every time we'd play. That's.
And we played 6 songs over and over and over.
It's kind of cool though. Like you guys are learning your instruments, learning how to play, but you still had a following. You know what I mean? People just came, and then eventually, clubs are going, "Hey, can you guys play here? We need to make some money, man."
Well, that's what I joke about. We were never good, but we sold fucking beer. The theater, we got kicked out of the theater 6 times, but they kept bringing us back because we would bring people that would drink. We were,
making money. They were making money, man.
Yeah, we came in hot with a bunch of people. And they would just start boozing, and the bar was making incredible money. So they would have us back.
Yeah. So that you guys didn't play like any like garage parties or anything like that before you played the Colony Kitchen, or you guys went straight to the Colony Kitchen?
No. Our very, very, very first gig was on 4th of July.
Okay.
And we played on Shelburne Lane.
Infamous.
And I
remember.
I think it was 20 Flight Rock. Whatever the song was, it started out with bass, and then drums, and then guitar, and then vocal. Like it kind of did this staggered thing. Mm-hmm. And during when we were practicing it and everything, I didn't notice that part, right? So the song kicks off. I swear this
Come
is
on,
true.
everybody.
Come on, everybody, right? Okay, so the song kicks off, and I'm like listening, and like, okay, there's the drum. Oh shit! That's building up, and I'm going to be the last fucking guy to. Oh man! And so I would just get more and more nervous by the time I had to blurp out something. I'll never forget that. And that was our first live performance. Was on 4th of July at Shelburne Lane.
So you guys want to talk about that 4th of July? Is that the one, the famous one where things went down?
That was a few years later.
That was a few years later?
We had some stuff under our belt at that point. More attitude and cockiness. And, Judd wasn't counting down. He was just rolling.
That was a big deal, right? Yeah. There was some stuff went down. And
that was on the news. It was Arb's mom. Yeah. I mean,
the Ventura police broke her arm, and it was just a big mess.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is that when when AK got arrested?
Yeah, it was just a big fiasco. No one person was at fault really. It was just like, what the heck? It was 4th of July.
Yeah,
it was mayhem.
Full force, man.
Yeah. So each year it was getting bigger and bigger as we'd play, and then one thing led to another.
Then they stopped doing fireworks.
Yeah.
So being a fan of your guys's, for so many years, there's like a, when I go see you guys play, there's like a certain energy that is there. And what do you guys think that is? What is that energy? I'm not the only one feeling it. Everybody else in the crowd is feeling it. There's this band playing, and I can't describe it, but it's a super positive, fun, everybody's partying type of a thing, and the energy's high. What do you guys? How does that even happen with you guys? What makes that?
Well, thank you. Number one, I mean, we're fans of yours too, and that's $1 million question. Because it starts with to me, it starts with JD's charisma. Mm-hmm. He gets them going, and then we kind of back him up. And the way the magic works, shall we call it?
Yeah,
is different. I mean, we got Guy and Eric playing with us the last time we played, and it was just the energy was incredible. Yeah, Toby and Billy. I mean, that's original, and Pinner.
Yeah, oh yeah. Mm.
And now my daughter's playing with us, and it's a whole different vibe. Her and JD are just having fun up there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it
starts with him, JD.
Something's got to give, right? When you're playing, and either the band has just got to do their best, and hopefully the crowd starts to react. But eventually, both parties start engulfing into a musical,
Yeah.
energy thing. And I think it starts with the band, and then you hope that the crowd's going to get into it, and then the booze starts to kick in, and so it arrives not necessarily right away, but it gets
But when
there.
it does,
and you can tell it's simmering and brewing, and
So are you feeling that? Like when you're up on stage, are you feeling that from the crowd, and then that kind of boosts you, and then it kind of keeps growing and growing? Is that what's happening?
Well, my little trick is
There's definite energy from the people that gets everybody fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't look at somebody that's a dud.
Right.
If there could be one guy, girl, whatever,
Sure.
out there that's stoked.
Yeah.
I'm playing to that person. They don't know it, but I'm like, there's some good energy coming right off that person.
Yeah.
I'll shut out any nego, and go and
Nice.
just zone in on that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do, man. As a front man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
as you know.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Scotty Morris from Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. He was on my podcast.
Love Scotty.
And he was saying, back in the 90s, he asked me the question. He's who were the big three bands in the 90s in the Ventura scene? And I, of course, said you guys. And I was kind of like going, I don't know. I go Lion Eyes. He's all 100%. And then he's all Spencer the Gardener. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I totally can get that, right? And then he says, I would go and study you guys. I would go watch you guys, man. I would watch you guys play. And the question I just asked you guys, the same question, he would say, what is going on here? What is making Raging Arb work? What is making Lion Eyes work? Why is they're different types of music, but for whatever reason, it's working. And he's like, I just would study you guys. I got the horns, I've got the guitar now, I've got, that kind of quirkiness that Spencer has. And I kind of combined all three bands, and that's what kind of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy is.
Wow.
Isn't that a trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, man. What an honor, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember when we used to play with you guys. I mean, I'm not a big reggae guy, but I liked your guys' stuff. I mean, it was like, boom, you'd get up and just go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we would cross over. Your people would come to our shows, and they would fill it with
Sick.
JD.
Oh, yeah.
And go vice versa. You go back.
Sick, man.
So they would see Bobby running off, climbing in the tree.
Climbing in the rafters.
Yeah.
I think along those lines of back then during that time period when you guys were playing too, Guy, with all those bands, we all had that mystical vibe of people coming to see us. It was natural.
Right.
It wasn't like you didn't have to go there and be somebody, or it was just a tribe of people that just loved to come out and see local music being played.
Yeah.
That's my kind of thought process on it.
And thinking about that too, it was a beach community. We'd all go to oil piers and surf and hang out. We'd come home and go see you guys, or they'd see us. It wasn't like there was 10 nightclubs in Ventura like there are now. It was a couple clubs. We would play, you guys would play the next night, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And the law was different back then. People are afraid to go out now.
Yeah.
You get a drunk driving over 2 drinks, and back then it was like...
Yeah. One of the things that I admired about you guys was your marketing. And
that's JD right there.
The marketing was, this is before internet, this is before social media, and you guys would always, you go around town and you see these killer flyers, man. I would be like, dang it. Oh, was that?
Toby was
I was just
our-
like, God, these the marketing was insane.
Me and Toby would be putting up flyers everywhere in town.
Right? Yeah, just grassroots.
Toby would have such a good spin on it too, like just the corncob girl, or just all, and so many fun ones.
Yeah.
Well, that redhead, you could see him a mile away.
Yeah. That's a great. What a classic logo. It just doesn't get any better.
That's
Me and Toby were putting up flyers once, and this guy walks out of the restaurant and he looks down at Toby and he's stapling them up to the thing. He goes, "What are you doing?" You can't put that up here. And Toby just turned around and just laid into him and goes, what are you talking about? I'll do whatever I want. He goes, we're promoting our band. If you don't like it, split. You know, and it was just a trip.
Oh, people would tear him down. We'd get pissed.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
He would, yeah, because there's a lot of labor putting that stuff up, man.
So, did you guys have a mailing list too, or was it just always word of mouth?
Yes.
Word of
Back in
mouth.
the day. Word of mouth. Huh?
It was pre-mailing list.
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
We just hang up flyers and posters and.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, back then there was always wanting to go out on Friday and Saturday night. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
were looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's just you have so many options. Do I go here? Do I go there? You know.
What do you guys describe your music as? Like, what is it? A style? Is it like when I think of it, I think of like Ventura, of course, right? But I also hear like country, rockabilly, rock, blues, kind of this giant mix, right? Am I right on the right track?
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, what do you guys describe it as?
I think you know, some of our influences are the Clash, Sex Pistols, then you know rockabilly stuff, Robert Gordon, Stray Cats,
Stones.
and then,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Stones, big time. So
Yeah.
you know, you mix that stuff together, and really that's what you get.
Those were all our influences, all those bands.
I call it beer drinking music.
Right? So there's a story I remember one of you guys telling me years ago about KLOS. Does anybody want to like talk about that? That whole story, like
How we got in there?
Yeah, like what went on there?
I gotta go to the restroom.
Well, you know, when like yourself, you know, all the bands in Ventura, the scouts
Yeah.
were coming through, and they grabbed
Yeah.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and a few SV bands.
Yeah.
And at that time, Rod Ensminger was representing the Redheads, and he was our buddy and stuff, and he got us in, went to the door at KLOS and gave him our CD.
Okay.
They started playing our stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
remember, yeah.
And it was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, there was some decisions that were made to go with Mark Hartley. He
Okay.
managed the band, and he gave us one of his guys, Scott something. And,
So you guys went with that agency?
yeah.
Okay.
And,
They're from Ventura, right?
yeah,
okay.
they were
Right.
at the time. And Mark, great guy, great company, as you know.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald Hartley. And, you know, we kind of sat on the shelf and we kind of looked back and we had some momentum going on.
Yes.
But then, you know, Billy ended up in jail, prison, and we had to make some changes with the guitar player. And then just some changes. I mean, you know how things are.
Sure.
And looking back on it, Rod had the just raw energy, knocking on doors, you know, like, and we shifted gears, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And but we got some airplay and a lot of recognition. I remember I was at the Stones concert, had a Redhead shirt on in the bathroom, and some dudes, oh man, Redheads! I just heard those guys on KLOS today.
It's huge, man.
Yeah, it was like, what the heck? And I'm oh shit.
Yeah.
You know,
What was it like when you heard yourself on the radio?
That was a trip.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
That's when people listened to the radio, you know, and that's when like KLOS was huge.
For sure.
yeah, we used to get some American play at K-Tide, Santa Barbara. That was
Yeah.
good, you know, with
Yeah.
Spencer and you guys
Yeah.
and everybody.
Yeah.
But when that hit, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, they did Hang in the Balance, and that was Mary Kay came in on that, and her pipes were just like out front. KLOS when they were playing us.
They played it with little bits and pieces, that whole record.
What was that like, JD, hearing your voice on the radio for the first time?
Oh man, one of my best moments, like with the band, you know, like nowadays we just play to have a really good time.
Sure.
But when you're young and you're coming up and you think, well, where's the journey taking us, right?
Yeah.
I was going. We had like 4, 5, 6 people in a car. We were going to go see the Stones at the Rose Bowl, and we had KLOS on, and I think it was Bruce Springsteen, then Raging Arb and the Red, like noontime nugget thing, right? It was Bruce Springsteen, Raging Arb, and then like Guns N' Roses or something. And the DJ was like, I want to play you a little something. You know how DJs pick or whatever?
Yeah.
And they friggin' picked us.
And you were driving?
Driving
Oh,
to the
sick.
Rose Bowl to go watch the
Sick.
Stones. And then I'm like, dude, what? There you are. Oh my God. It was so
That's awesome.
magical. And
Love it.
I'm like, well, we're a sandwich. We had Springsteen on one side, and then Guns N' Roses. It was pretty special. So that felt amazing. And then they got sold like a week later.
Oh, they did?
KLOS got sold, and then the DJ and everything went kaput because we were gaining momentum. We really were.
Right.
So yeah, self-titled. I call myself Swing and a Miss.
Yeah. You know what? It makes me so stoked to hear like a band from Ventura on the radio. You know, I mean, just like
hearing Big Bad is like, whoa.
The first time I heard that, I was like, sweet. I think it was in Colorado or something, and they came on. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Now I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Scotty's done everything from the Super Bowl to.
Yeah.
He's played all over the place.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So who else is playing in the band now?
Well, my daughter's playing Addison Emery.
Yep.
You know, I taught her how to play drums, and Toby taught her and Ruby how to play guitar. And then Toby kind of shifted gears, and it was a natural for Addie to come in. We had Guy Martin and Eric Lemaire. Eric's dad passed of COVID, so Eric kind of took a break. Oh. So then we kind of got Addie in, right?
Yeah, I mean, just for over the years, look how long we've been playing. So somebody's going to fall down or whatever, and you know, so it's been great having a revolving door now and again. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Guy Martin's probably played with us and Eric for 25 years over
Easily.
the course of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
On and off.
Well, when Toby, he traveled for a year.
With
Guy
Jackass.
came in and played with us.
Right.
You know, and made it more bluesy, and we kind of did it about a year. We played with him.
Yeah.
And then,
our last show, Guy and Eric were playing with us.
Yeah.
amazing.
So,
Amazing.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool mix, huh?
Yeah, I think for me and Arb, and JD too, I mean, to have these two guitar players that are totally playing off each other in the harmonica, I'm just sitting back with Arb. We're like, this is what it's about, having fun.
Right.
We were in Camarillo, didn't know a lick of people out there, and we did this show, and it was outside. It was like, okay.
Yeah,
When we were done, bro, with Sympathy for the Devil, Eric and Guy going off in the harmonica, when we were done, I'm all, man, I feel sorry for the next band coming up.
and they held their own.
They did. It was Dave Ray and those guys. They're
Dave
good.
Ray kills it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then you guys have a harmonica player that plays with you, Jason, right? And-
Jason
Frazier.
Yeah. Anybody else playing that you guys had come in?
We had Bill Benson for a short time.
Oh, yeah.
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 He played with us.
Yeah, when he was playing, it was more crowsy, man. He had that flavor in there. It was just amazing.
It's crazy what a different guitar player can add to a group, huh? Just that next layer
Yeah.
and make it sound.
Yeah,
Like
they have their own
said,
sound.
Yeah.
You can't really say, oh, we don't say you need to sound like this. I mean, of course, they're going to try and follow
Yeah.
a little flavor of Raging R, but
Yeah.
they're going to put their own spin on it. So it's great,
Are you guys writing any songs?
We just recorded 2 covers.
I've been putting the pen to the
Ours
paper.
been.
I've been trying.
Yeah?
Yeah. Trying to get some new creative energy going.
Nice.
Yeah.
Harb can
It's-
write.
it's
He's a
where-
good songwriter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite song that you've written for Raging Arbor?
Definitely Pick Up the Pieces was a good one on the CD, the self-titled CD that we did. That was one that me and Toby and another guy worked on from the band The Broken Homes. I don't know if you've heard of them. But I didn't have time, but now that I'm retired, I've got a little more time to do things because I was starting my family and working 50 hours a week, and so a lot of time I'd put the band on the back burner and didn't participate. I mean, I'd show up for the gigs and do my thing, but writing was out of the question. It was, you know what it's like raising kids. You get exhausted. You got other things to worry about.
Dude, I took a 10-year break. A 10-year break, man.
From no music.
From no music, playing music. Man, I was a little bit bitter.
What,
You know,
just for
It happens.
Yeah.
Well, just things happening with bands in the music industry and getting sued and all the crap that goes along with being in a band, and that sort of thing. So I was just like, ugh. And I took a 10-year break, and then Bruce Conaway's wife called me up 10 years later and said, "Hey, I want to see if Lion Ice could get back together and do a show at the Ventura Theater for breast cancer, because she had breast cancer,
Well,
And so that got us all back in, and I was
Were
like,
we on
"Oh,
that one, or was that a different one?
the second one. I
Yeah.
think you guys were there.
Yeah.
We played the first one with Spencer, and then the second one with you guys." And that got me all fired up again, play music again. Well, this is kind of fun. But the funny thing was, like when you're playing all the time, you're like in good shape, right? And so, like we were running around on stage, back in the day, we're all skinny and all in shape and everything. And then we played that show 10 years later, and we're running around, and me and Bobby are all like seriously, like
Dude.
hurting, man. Bobby Keem's all, dude, like, when we're on stage. But it was fun, man. Yeah, it was good times.
grasping for air.
Yeah,
to like
totally.
seeing that verse. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I was winded the last gig. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot, and then oh man, run around. You can't run and sing. It's well, you can, but you got to. You're right. You got
I
to play
get to
more
sit-
gigs than once a month.
I get to sit down, but
So-
still, man, it's like
So I'm a little youngster, probably, I don't know, 16 or 17. And I go into Salzer's, and I'm looking through the records and stuff, and I'm like, pull this thing out. I'm like, Raging Arb and the Redheads.
Oh, shit.
And it was the Young Tykes, man, with a picture of you guys at,
The Pierpont.
there it
record.
is right there, man. Yeah. And I was
JD
like,
made these shirts.
I mean, that is a amazing picture, for one.
Yeah.
Of all you guys. And the question I had for you guys was, all the songs on that record original songs that you guys wrote too, or how did that all go down?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
originals. On
Isn't
that.
that amazing?
We didn't do one cover on that.
No.
Is
Usually
that
you do.
amazing?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, how old were you guys?
We were so green when we did that.
18, 19.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we're probably 5 years into it, right? So we're
Yeah.
probably 23, 24, right? Mm-hmm. Right around there.
We started 17, 18.
Yeah. But I mean, how cool is that? I mean, honestly, to make a record, you guys are that young, all originals. That's not easy to do.
No, we
Yeah,
were
right.
blessed. We were blessed. We had a little momentum.
Yeah.
And then Arb's girlfriend, Kristen,
Financed it.
she talked to her dad and goes, "Dad, this band
No
is,
way.
Yeah,
I swear to God, so awesome.
Totally. This band is amazing. I'll manage them, Dad." He goes, "All right, I'll fund it." And we went into Goldmine Studios. And you know how, I mean, that was to walk in the studio and
Oh, it was like,
record.
whoa.
Yeah, it was.
You guys were tripping on that. I
Chris
bet.
Bird had to tune our guitars and drums. We were like,
Was Jeff Cowan doing
oh
the?
yeah,
nice.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Count. We had a lot of pros come by and help us, like
Yeah.
Mark Andes, Jimmy Christie.
Oh, really?
All all our mentors in the
For sure.
Ventura music scene
Yeah.
would come and help us, tune the guitars, tune the drums.
Jim Christie tuned my drums in the studio.
That's so cool. man.
63 Ludwig.
Yeah. So what's your guys' favorite song, all-time song that you guys play? Do you guys have a favorite that you play from that album, or, ones that you guys have written in the past? You guys have a favorite song that you guys like, oh, this is a killer song, I'm stoked to play it? Or you guys, oh, not this song again?
Oh man, I think it moves around a little bit, but
Yeah.
Strut.
Yeah.
People
yeah.
love Strut, and that's the most simple friggin' song we do.
But it sounds awesome.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's still on the set list at least twice. So,
Right.
dude, Guy, the funny thing, when you say that, so our influence in that song was the Bombers, the Rhythm and Blues Bombers. We would
yeah.
go on the bowling alley, watch them, and just like, Jim Christie played and all the boys.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny because you say what your favorite song is. My favorite song isn't even on our set list, and we try to put it on there. Guy even tries to do it.
What is it?
We'll do a set list. Well, Monster, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Just mess
man,
with. We
he
do it to mess with
tortures me.
JD. You know what I mean? So we write this song list, and you can appreciate this. JD does not follow the song list.
No, never.
And we just like, dude, one time I got pissed, and I caught myself. I'm all, Oh yeah, Addie doesn't even know that song. But JD remember, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just funny, like
Yeah,
you
well,
said.
Ross will just kick it off, and then everybody will start. I'm like, you son of a. Like,
Because you're feeling the energy, and you're like, oh, let's do this song. This one would be better right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. But then he knows that, Monster, that's one of our songs, and like,
That's a tough one. Talking about speed and breathing, that's a fast song.
it is.
So I'm going to share a story with you guys. We were playing one time at Who Songs or Who Sings?
Yeah.
Who
What
Sings?
the name was that
my
place?
Is it Who Sings?
I
Who
think
sings?
Songs.
Who Sings?
Yeah.
No, it's Who Sings.
Who
Yeah,
Sings?
'cause
So
Who Songs is in
Mexico.
Yeah.
So we were playing Who Sings, down there by the Ventura Harbor, and it was just packed, and there's all these people in there and everything. We're playing. We sucked as well, but it was just packed.
Was it Lionize?
Yeah,
or?
Lionize.
Okay.
And so we're playing in there and everything, and my friend, I've never seen this happen. I'm going to ask you guys the same question, but I've never seen this happen. But my friend comes in, and it's packed, right? And so my friend grabs a chair, and he pulls it to go sit down. And while he's doing that, he pulls it out while another guy's sitting down, right? And he falls down, right?
Wait.
So-
So your friend grabbed a chair.
Grabbed a chair.
Oh, it was somebody
and-
else's.
And it was somebody else's chair, and he wasn't looking. He just kind of grabbed the chair and pulled it, and he was going to sit in it. But while he's doing it, this other dude, big dude, falls down, right? And he gets up, and my friend doesn't even see this guy, and this guy just cracks him, right? And I shit you not, you guys, it was like a spaghetti western in there, just a tornado, like it was just people were just waiting to fight. It was I'm on my key on the stage just going, oh my god, and just
Food fight! And then
it was
boom, game on.
insane. Like I've never seen anything like that ever before. Anyway, it ended up in this huge thing, and we were never allowed to play there again.
Did you keep playing the song? Did you guys ever stop?
We stopped. We had because it was too crazy. But has anything like that happened with you guys? Can you guys think of any crazy stories? What's the craziest thing that's ever happened that you guys can think of?
God, what hasn't
man.
happened? Everything.
I mean, there's been guns gone off.
Yeah.
Somebody got shot.
Yeah.
and really
We
bad.
had this older guy named Cadillac, and he died on the dance floor right in front of us.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that guy.
He
Yeah.
used to do the lights.
Yeah.
He was the
passed away.
coolest guy.
He
wasn't he?
dropped and just fucking. He was.
That Bermuda
He probably
Triangle.
did
Yeah.
lights for you guys, right? You'd go like that, and you'd look over in the corner, you'd go ding dong,
Yeah.
ding dong,
Yeah.
ding dong.
But he was probably stoked.
So stoked.
Right? Just
died
what a
in
way
his-
to go out, right?
God,
He
when-
was so energetic.
When you say who sings, I have a very good memory of that place. I don't know. I'll keep it PG. Okay, and as you know, Who Sings? It's a whole different world down there. The odor, the this, and
Yes,
that. It's like
right.
something gets in people's
Right.
heads. So these two
Edge of
girls,
town.
you guys might remember, they were dancing, and this one girl goes down on the other girl right in front of us. I'm like, I'm I'm missing a beat and messing up. JD's looking at me, what are you doing? And I'm like, and I remember those two. They were married. They had, I mean, it was just like crazy.
Right.
As they kept going,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we kept playing the song.
Yeah, and I would see
guys
them
kept going.
Romantic melody.
I would see them both, at other gigs and stuff. I'd just be like, give them that look like, oh shit, stay away from
There you
them.
go.
What about you, JD? Can you remember anything?
Oh man, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, was when we played Ramones Colony Kitchen, and that was so gnarly to have cops and ambulances, people 2 nights in a row just from fights and
Yeah.
just getting drug out of there.
Yeah.
And
That kind
I
of
can't
stuff.
really it was just
Yeah, those Ramones gigs were crazy. Remember, when Lissa would be there, and
And Gigi.
they'd be hanging from the fucking. There was like
Gina Salcido.
what are those things called that people have a
Chandelier.
chandeliers? There'd be people hanging on the chandelier. The chandelier would be rocking in front of the stage, and there'd be 3 or 4 people on it, and it was just mayhem, just craziness in there. But it was all fun, good, energetic stuff.
I think real quick, one of the craziest ones is when we used to play up in Santa Barbara at Casa de la Raza. K-Type would do it.
Yes.
They would do this contest thing, right?
Yeah.
We would get bus loads of people from Ventura. It was Spencer the Gardener, Five Cool What, Raging Arb, and some other bands up there. And they were announcing first place. And second place by 0.2 of a point, Raging Arb and the Redheads.
Oh, no.
Shit started breaking, tables started flying, windows. Shelly Hart started a fight with girls.
Shelly Hart, oh my God, yeah.
Legend.
I remember, yeah.
Oh, and we just left town. We should have left with our tail behind our legs, but we didn't. And Five Cool What won.
That was a Saturday night, and we had made it to it was a Stroh's beer competition.
Yeah.
It was like 30 bands submitted, and we made it. Our song made it, and so then you went to this playoff thing, right? And then there was like five nights of 4 bands playing, whatever. So we made it to the record. We got on the record. 5 bands got on the record.
K-Tide.
So then those 5 bands played, and the number 1 band was going to go down to L.A. at some wherever.
Record.
And yeah. And then when they announced that we didn't win, that's when shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, on the radio station, it was KTYD, and on the radio station, they're like, well, they probably would have won, but how the hell are you going to let that band go down to L.A. and represent Santa Barbara and Ventura? We couldn't do it.
Walter Stowe was our manager then, and that guy's name was Moss Jacobs.
Yeah, Moss, he does big shows.
And he said he was sitting there talking to Moss, and then right when the announcement went off and the rock came blasting through the window, and he just looked at Moss Jacobs and goes, "Oh my God." The conversation just stopped. It was,
well, we were one of Moss's favorite bands.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm going to shift gears real quick. So the K-Tide thing, there was a gig in Isla Vista. Halloween gig, Raging Arb, we were playing. There was a local band, I think it was Five Cool What, was playing right before us. They wouldn't stop. We were playing around this pool. Toby kicks the dude's guitar amp in the pool. You guys are done. They're looking at him and looking at us. You guys remember that?
Thanks a lot, guys. Good over.
Awesome.
So anyway, there's a lot of them.
It was gnarly. So our crew,
Steve Monahan.
They were like, with the band's fine, but that goddamn crew that goes with them, the fans,
our road dogs,
gnarly.
Yeah.
So we were playing one time at the Strawberry Festival.
Oh, nice.
And dude, we usually never get a mosh pit. But for whatever reason, the energy was there, and as we were playing this song called "There's a Chance," kind of a faster ska tune, and this mosh pit started.
In broad daylight.
In broad daylight. I mean, it was like dust, and everything, and it was just like, I was just like, whoa, trip out on this, a giant one, right? And Matt Freeman, you see this dude come over and just clock Matt Freeman. Gosh!
Oh no!
And he's knocked out cold, and then Bobby stopped the whole thing, but we never got to play the Strawberry Festival again. It was just crazy.
Because of the crowd. The band's fine, but the crowd you guys bring.
Yes.
Well, and two, Bobby like JD, man. Bobby got those people
absolutely.
going. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've had a few different bands. That's why I can say Lion Eyes, Trouser Trouse.
Yes.
You've had a few.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Having fun, man, for sure. So what's on the future for Raging Arb? And I want to ask this question, too. Are you guys the oldest living rock band still playing in Ventura?
We're the second oldest of the Rolling Stones, dude.
Seriously, I think you guys are.
Oh,
you guys are probably the longest lasting Ventura band in history.
I haven't thought about that, but I
would
think
yeah.
Well, because Blasters, X, all these bands have been around 45 years, and we got 40.
Yeah.
We're still...
You guys are still going.
I think what helps is, JD still knows how to drink. Me and Arb, we had to give it up, dude. Me and Arb, I've got 13 years, he's got 25. But some of us kind of shifted gears.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have the leader, what I mean, we would have been done.
Yeah.
We can do everything, but if he's not there, we ain't doing it.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That's just the reason.
was having a beer now.
He stopped drinking for a year, dude, and he
Really?
did it. Yeah, and he said he was going to do it, and he did it.
Yeah, at the end
Did
of
we
that year,
play
you
with-
know what I said? That was the dumbest thing I ever did.
And I don't know if we played more gigs or if we did, but
Yeah.
we just kept going.
Yeah.
Just checking out my willpower,
Yeah.
strength.
So what's in the future for you guys?
We're
Same
working
thing?
on some stuff, some
Yeah?
cover tunes.
Yeah.
Arb's going to start writing. I think if we get together and really focused,
We got Guy, and
you know,
Yeah,
could-
Guy's got a studio. So.
he's got a
Yeah.
studio, so we could put some new music out. We just got to get together, hone in, and hash out some new songs. And I think,
Yeah.
we could knock them out in Guy's studio for sure.
we got 2 songs to master, and we got a few more we're going to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we
If
shifted,
everyone's into it, I don't want to push on anybody's feet or
yeah,
Oh, don't be so sensitive, Arb. It's fine. We're gonna rock it.
What's it like for you guys when you do write a new song and the first time you guys play it and then you see the crowd's reaction? What's that like?
Well, we haven't.
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since.
It's
we've-
nerving.
Do you remember
know
it?
what I mean?
Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah,
Do you remember
yeah.
doing it? Yeah.
Yeah,
No, well, I mean, we've done
covers.
like the
Cover.
Christmas thing we did and stuff.
yeah.
And when you share a new song, it's pretty cool to see somebody kind of, But most, everybody they need to hear it once or twice, or
Yeah.
2 or 3 times. So, but it's fun to share it, and it's certainly fun to get to the end of the song and not mess it up, right?
Right. Yeah, because it's all new. Yeah.
It's like, oh shit!
when we did the local love project thing for Cat, we walked in. I didn't even know what song we were going to do when I walked into the studio. We didn't even have a song picked out. We never rehearsed. It was just off the cuff and just boom. We just laid it out.
Yeah, Toby rolled in the studio. Let's do this song, and we just did it.
Yeah.
Guy came in, and did some, dubbing some leads and stuff. And I think, you're like you said, when you play a song, it's like the Scotty Morrises out there going, You know what I mean? The people, because if you were, you go, wow, that's a new song. You pay more attention.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the crowd's just doing what they do. But
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yes.
I mean, because me and Arb are tighter than we've been in the past. You know what I mean? Just because.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And JD, we can all pretty much, we know when each other's gonna, trip up or not, or just kind of, and we fall back together.
yeah.
It's that magic that you were talking about. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool to be able to say that now
Oh.
that you guys are older, that you guys are tighter than you've ever been?
People told us at Camarillo that was the best we've ever heard you
Yeah,
guys.
that's great. That's a great.
Oh shit!
That's
It's
so
like fine,
cool.
like fine wine. When you guys
Right.
get together, you know what I mean.
It's
Lionize,
insane.
everybody's gonna come to town with that.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. I love hearing that.
Because I think when you're older too, you get rid of all that nonsense, and you
Yeah.
just let all that shit go and move forward. And I'm just stoked playing music with these guys. That's all that matters to me. You
Right.
know, I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
it's
it
showing
gets too
up and
serious
doing it.
sometimes.
You know,
Yeah.
Toby used to book the Redheads early on, and he would make the flyers, and he was just personally into it. Somebody
Yeah.
tear down a flyer, we're like, wanted to kick their ass.
Yeah.
Nickleby's, I remember Toby would book the gigs, and he's like, I'm never doing this again. He got in a fight with the bouncers, he got in a fight with Nick, and he's like, you're booking, and I started booking the band.
Wow.
So then from there, we started learning how to do it, and then obviously, doing music festivals, Surf Rodeo, and then the Johnny Cash thing, and
Yeah.
it snowballed.
So, JD, what's happening with Surf Rodeo this year?
We're all hurting.
I mean, in a nutshell, we have our usual date, and somebody had asked maybe if they could use that date, so we moved our event to another date, and then, unbeknownst to us, we started talking with the state and the city and fairgrounds, and come to realize that maybe the X Games were coming in. on that. They wanted that date, and they couldn't move their date because of ESPN and the network. So once you schedule something, the network can't move. So there was no budging there, and then there was a chance maybe we were going to collaborate and do some things together, and so time just kept clicking, and so I couldn't book any bands, and to line up stages and audio, video, and fencing and all that stuff, you have to pre-book that stuff.
Yeah.
Then it just came closer and closer to like, oh shit, man, we gotta get out. We gotta pull. So we pulled the plug, just because it was conflicting stuff, and now we are gonna do some things, and we are talking to some people about some people like Surf Rodeo up and down the coast. So. Stay tuned. I don't right here, right now. I don't have anything locked. But there is some fun for all our Surf Rodeo peeps to have.
Yeah.
And we'll probably know. I don't know. Probably in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, Surf Rodeo is a blast.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's like for everybody to get back together. It's like a high school reunion times 10.
So can you tell, like, what for people listening that don't know what Surf Rodeo is? Could you kind of talk about what it is and what it's all about?
Yeah, it's originated obviously here in Ventura on Pierpont Beach, and we've all surfed in enough surf contests and skate contests, so we put a spin on surfing where no leashes, old school throwback boards, red jersey, you have to wear a cowboy hat, blue jersey, blue cowboy hat, and so on. And that was so unique in its approach to surfing. And then we started putting music on the beach, Jack Johnson and a number of bands. And it just caught, like Kelly Slater, Rob Machado, Conan Hayes, the Malloy brothers. And the Malloy brothers are really bringing up a lot of the boys, a lot of the pros and stuff. And everybody was just digging it, drinking beer, surfing, and playing music, and Surf Rodeo, boom.
So awesome.
And it was like just fucking unique.
Yeah.
And we just have built upon that, or,
Yeah.
the flavor of it, and pretty much just laugh at yourself. We're not a political statement. We're not any kind of, we're just enjoy yourself. Let's have some fun.
I think that that whole vibe, that whole concept of what you just said, have fun, music on the beach, surfing, drink beer, it comes across, and maybe you guys don't know this, as an artist performing at the Surf Rodeo, that the artists are very well taken care of, right? So that's what I experienced, that
Awesome.
the people from when you park your car to where you're talking to PJ and he's directing you to go to the stage here. Everybody is cool, man. Everybody's like, just seems so like stoked to be there, stoked to be working, having fun. And how do you get those people to be that way at the festival? That's what I'm kind of, again, a question, like, how does that work? You know,
that's therein lies that our crew can move mountains. I mean, it's all done by passion and spirit, and that's what it is. And it's a collective group of unique people who don't do production every day of the week.
Right.
They come out once a year and do a rodeo. And not everybody. I mean, there's some, working pros in that group, but it's just, we'll put our crew up against any crew, and that's just for spirit and passion and love, and that's it.
For vision, so that people can kind of imagine this, that are listening to the podcast, is imagine two big stage on a beach, and a gigantic bar in probably one of the biggest bars you've ever seen in the middle.
World's biggest beach bar.
World's biggest beach bar. And bands, there's 3 stages. 3 stages, yeah.
There were.
3 stages, vendors, bands constantly playing. People surfing.
Cornhole.
Beautiful people, cornhole. I mean, it's just an amazing, like you said, it's like a giant high school reunion for me too. But it's like probably the most fun event on the planet, without a doubt.
Thank you.
You know,
Definitely.
yeah, it's a pretty neat thing that you guys have created for sure. And I'm sitting here in the Surf Rodeo headquarters, man. What's that like?
Hey, Guy, what I want to add too, I mean, been here and done this with JD. It
Yeah.
starts with his vision,
Yeah.
his heart. Everybody that is involved, like you said,
Yeah.
from PJ to people that have worked music stores, that they just want to do this,
Right.
and have fun. They know you, we know the connectors and the people, but everybody meets here at headquarters, and JD gets on his bullhorn, has meetings. People love,
That's awesome.
love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, like he said, there's some business stuff that goes down that we get to deal with.
Yeah.
And we get to adjust,
Yeah.
or we don't.
Right.
You know, and he made a decision this year for not only him, his household, and each and every one of our households.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a decision that needed to be made.
Uh-huh.
You know, for his vision.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You have to do it like, I don't like forcing stuff anymore. I've done that. Like when you force something and try to wedge it in there,
Yeah, yeah.
the results usually aren't that good. So if some things come to us, which maybe well or whatever, then I hate to sound evasive here, but if it feels good, do it. And I mean, that's where we're at. Surf Rodeo deserves that. It deserves to have an open canvas to kind of work its magic on a beach near you.
Does that event take all year to plan?
Yeah.
It does, huh?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Seriously.
We don't see JD for a long time, but when we do see him, we get to play some music.
Right? Yeah. People have no idea, huh? What it takes to put on an
clueless.
event like that. They have no clue. You're just there for the 3 days. Hey, woo. And in that, they have no idea the amount of logistics that go into like organizing all the bands, to the vendors, to the people doing this, to
permits.
that, the permit. Oh my God.
Yeah, they don't
Dude,
know.
that's a big deal, man.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And JD got to mentor with Kevin Lyman from Warped Tour. They're best friends. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? What a better example. I remember Kevin coming in the first rodeo, bringing stages, bringing bands, bringing on the beach on Pierpont. Mm-hmm. And JD, and we're just going, what the heck just happened?
Yeah. No, Southern California has produced lots of great bands, lots of good production people, and the Warped Tour was started in California. So
Yeah.
we've been, So getting mentored by one of the best in the music business is always helpful.
Yeah. If you could have what's your guys' dream bands to have at the Surf Rodeo? If you guys could, you guys have any?
Selfishly for myself?
Yeah, you guys have
Black
any?
Crows.
Black Crows, nice. Anybody else?
But I don't know if that would be a fit.
I want Joan
you know what I
Jett
mean?
on the beach.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We've done some stuff together, and she's like
Yeah.
a friend. And but when we were doing a rodeo, she could be in Egypt playing. I don't know, just
Yeah.
So it's like scheduling stuff. But
Yeah.
that'll be a fun time when
That would be.
when that happens.
Yeah. What about you, Art?
That's a rough one for me.
Yeah,
Because there's so much
there's
talent out
yeah.
there that I would like to see, but I don't know if everybody else is into that. But
Right.
What about you, Guy?
Oh my God, Stick Figure,
Nice.
all my son's into them. He loves them.
Revolution. I like all those bands. The Specials.
Oh, there you go. That's
They
right.
came to the theater one time, man, and I was like,
Right.
Specials.
Yeah, that would be
what's
pretty
his
sick.
name just passed, right?
Yeah. Those kind of bands would be fun.
Wait, we were talking to the Specials at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Oh, were you?
yeah.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, and
cool.
you ended up getting whatchamacallit, our first year at the
English
pier.
Beat.
Yeah, them, but that other band, the first year at the pier. That
I
one.
can't remember. That's so
Expendables?
far. That's so long ago. It's like 4 years ago.
How many surf rodeos have there been now?
Oh man, Marty, you got that?
Give me a second.
At least 10? Over 10?
Oh yeah.
15?
Took a little break too.
Oh man.
Oh, he's looking up here.
I think we did 5, 7, 12,
13.
13 rodeos.
Wow. That was awesome.
The great results happen because there's so much hard effort and stuff put forward, and you try to dress a beach up with such Western flavor, and then the spirit of the people come out with that same energy,
right?
So it's not the set dressing and all that's one thing, the bands are one thing, but the crowd, the passion that they bring, so it transfers over to everybody.
Yeah. The other cool thing that is neat about Surf Rodeo is the diversity of musical acts that you guys get. That it appeals to so many people, from country to reggae to ska to hard rock to country. It's pretty cool how you guys do that. That's a pretty neat thing. So Ross, you do other events as well, and so what do you do?
So back in the day, and I did an event called the Johnny Cash Music Festival. I worked with Cindy Cash. One of my friends kind of got with the family. Her name was Jackie, and got with the family and got this going, And she said, she got me and JD together. Said, hey, this is what I want to do. JD was with Kevin doing his movie, so I kind of stuck with it, and we called it the Johnny Cash Music Festival. We worked with Cindy Cash. And one of my, selfish things was I hired Robert Gordon, King of Rockabilly. We were doing this stuff, and it was a good fit. You know what I mean? And at the end of it, we did 9 years. I think we did this when JD was taking a break from rodeo. So I learned from him what to do, what not to do, and to gate things and how to do it, and learned a lot. Kevin chimed in and just a lot of people to help out. And after 9 years, nobody's making fucking money. One of the things I hold the torch to JD's wife, Amber. She's a freaking saint, dude. I've gone through at least 3 relationships in 9 years in music festivals just because. You know what I mean? JD's still married. That's number 1 right there.
That's awesome, yeah.
And me and him grew up best friends, and to watch that still happen, you know what I mean? And Mickey, too, with Harb. Mickey just jumps in. After 9 years, I got to meet, from Reverend Horton Heat to the Blasters, Los Lobos, all the bands that we grew up loving and becoming friends. Robert Gordon's calling me and JD on Christmas saying Merry Christmas.
Nice.
Just fun stuff. But, it all comes back to rodeo. You know what I mean? And playing music with the Redheads. You say the bands come in, they know how to be treated because we know how we want to be treated.
Exactly, huh?
You know what I mean? So when they come into rodeo backstage, the funny thing with me, when I would tell my security, hey, if somebody sneaks backstage, I want to know because I want to buy that kid a beer and give him a taco and let him feed him, like we do at rodeo. Because that
brownie
was us.
Points.
That
hey,
was
you're pretty good.
If you can freaking sneak backstage, dude, you're going to eat because that's your best marketing. He's going to tell all of his buddies he snuck in, and they're all going to come next year and try to sneak in. Right?
I freaking love that. Why don't that's insane.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Because we were those kids at the bowl.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Lowell George's daughters backstage and getting in a limo, getting the ride to Ventura. Little feet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should be the caption. Surf Rodeo. Don't buy a ticket. Sneak in. Free taco and beer.
If you make it.
If you make
it. Bruises and bumps.
Yeah.
But some good stuff. Learned a lot.
Are you doing any other events?
Yeah, we help out Tori with Chopper Fest.
Chopper Fest, yes.
I help him with the talent book there, and JD kicks in, and I'm helping John from Spencer McKenzie's the Throwdown tournament this year.
Right. When is that?
It's August 25, 26, and 27.
Okay.
And he hit me up because he's going in the fairgrounds, and that's where I've done all my stuff. And he said, hey, I want your help. I go, bro, I don't want to work that hard.
We're going to play it, too.
Yeah.
Redheads are going to play that.
I said, I'll book the band. So he said, I want Redheads to play, and you book the rest of the bands. And I said, okay, I'll talk to JD.
Awesome.
And you're playing, obviously.
Yes, Stoneflies are playing it as well.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I brought in all of our boys that we know from rodeo and what we're doing, We know that you're going to show up and kick some ass.
How many people do you think have spurred their relationships from your guys' shows or have gotten married, do you think, and had kids from being at your guys' shows? Can you guys name any?
My son.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine So I'll let you guys think about that for a second. I'm going to tell you guys something that's good.
Mothers Against Drunk Drivers used to come to our shows at Charlie's.
Oh, yeah?
To stop what we were doing. You know, Bill Ossie wrote about it once.
So I'll let you guys think about that for a second, but listen to this. So, like, we were playing a show, and this is years later, 10, 15 years later, right? And no, it's not that going that route, but this happened a couple times. These people come up and they're all, "Hey, I met my wife at your show, and these are our kids, and we're they love the music too, and I'm like, awesome, and you see them in the crowd, and the kids are singing the songs too."
How fun.
So
you see what I'm saying?
they met at your gig, got married, have babies. They're at your show.
They're at our show.
That's pretty special,
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's happened for you guys as well. It's for sure, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys think of that?
Yeah.
And again, your music was more love, man. Ours was, we have more fights and bitterness, and at the end of the night.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys is that what a blessing that you guys are still playing.
Yeah.
That your band is still playing.
Thank you.
What a blessing to have you guys still playing in Ventura, and how many people love your band and still come to your shows. They're all a lot of them are gray, like us. But I mean, what an honor, right? Yeah, I mean, what an honor to be able to still be playing music.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
You know what I mean? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then too, I think the same about you. You know what I mean? Looking at you and your blue eyes, I remember when I met you. I go, fuck! I thought I had blue eyes. This motherfucker's good looking right here.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. But no, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's
You guys were just as big part of the scene as we were.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
takes the whole village.
For sure. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, being a musician, and just to be able to go to a club, doesn't matter where it's at, a little restaurant or a little dive bar or a big stadium or a big theater, how much of an honor that is just to be up there on that stage playing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about,
And with our idols, I mean, I'm sure you guys have opened for acts and bands, and just oh my God.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what it's about. At the end of the day, we get to play with the people that we look up to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. Well, you guys, I hope the best for you guys. It's been a super good time talking to you guys here and hanging out with you, and I hope the best for you guys. So, any last words that you guys would like to say before we go?
Just thank you for doing this. This is it's very cool.
Man. When I was texting you guys, immediately, you guys were like, "Let's do it." So I was pretty stoked, man.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's great to be sitting here with the Redheads and you.
Right. Thanks, man.
4 band members that have been to a lot of gigs.
Yes.
And it's good to sit here and talk about them.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, I think the roots are so deep on this table right here. I mean, especially with your mom being you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody knowing your mom, and JD's mom, my dad, Arb's mom, and just stuff. And we have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What an amazing town, too. Ventura. I mean, how lucky are we to be able to have grown up here?
Yeah.
And so, I live in Kernville on the Kern River, and I've been there for 20 years, but I still come back to this place. And I'm just like, this place is badass. It's so bitchin'. Like today I was teaching, people how to fly fish in the surf this morning.
Amazing.
And it's just so badass. I'm standing in the water. I'm like, look at this place, man. Seriously,
We are so blessed.
We take it for granted when we're here all the time, but man, going up there and then coming back here, I get the best of both worlds, But
definitely count your blessings.
Yeah. So thank you.
There's some humbling things in life that will make you do that.
Yeah.
I say out of this, we should put together another gig with Lion Eyes and Redheads.
All right.
And just do it again.
Let's do it, man.
Because we're all still kicking.
Game on.
Sounds good, you guys. Hey, thanks so much for being here, you guys.
Thank
And
you, brother.
Thanks
You're
for the
welcome.
Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
invite here to Surf Rodeo headquarters, man. This
Yeah.
place is cool.
Much love. Love you, brother.
All right. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
It's a Guy Jeans podcast.